Attorney Stewart Vance from the Vance Law Firm is in the studio with us this morning, waiting to answer your legal questions right here live on the air. And Stewart, we'd like to remind our viewers you are a personal injury attorney. What type of cases do you typically cover?
We typically handle cases where someone has been injured by no fault of their own, severely, minor, whatever it might be, because of someone's negligence or reckless activity or behavior.
We have a question from our viewer, and the viewer asks, if you were involved in a class action lawsuit, will you automatically get a payment?
That's a great question. Usually, if you qualify for it and you are confirmed in it, yes, but how much and how soon are two questions that I certainly can't answer. We don't do class action cases. A lot of times people get it can be confusing. I'll use Camp Lejeune, for example. We have lots of cases in the Camp Lejeune matter, but it's not a class action. They're all looked at and evaluated independently. Versus somebody, let's say, I'm trying to think of one, a recall case or something that is in fact a class action where one law firm represents anybody and everybody that is connected with that thing. And those can last longer. The money gets chopped up much more that way, in my opinion. So yes, you typically do if you're in a certified class. But how much and how soon are two questions that are always people asking about.
I believe there was a settlement recently involving cell phones, but I thought you had to sign up to be able to get that money. Is that the case in some situations?
Yeah, it can be either way. Sometimes you can be a member because you were on a customer list, or you qualified by like that purchasing something, or there are lots in the investment world of stocks and bonds and whatever. And so if you have somebody managing your money, maybe in a 401k or IRA, whatever it might be, something might happen and you might qualify because you own something that you don't really know about, and all of a sudden a check comes in the mail. Usually those are not very much, $30, $100 maybe, but if you're in a larger class, it's typically because one firm is controlling the entire membership of the class.
We are heading into the big Memorial Day weekend. A lot of folks are hitting the roads. You talk a lot about car accidents and car insurance. What would you remind folks before they hit the road, and then what should they do if they are in an accident?
First thing, please call your insurance agent, whomever that is, and make sure you have the uninsured, underinsured coverage that we talk about often. Make sure that it's up to date, and make sure it's on all your cars in your household. Because I say it all the time, but it still surprises me when people are shocked when someone causes an accident and they don't have any insurance. Because then there's a whole laundry list of questions they want to do. Well, can I go after them anyway? Can I file criminal charges against them because they're not doing what they should? All those are very valid questions, but the answer, in my opinion, is no, because if they don't have the money to buy the insurance, they don't really have anything. If it's someone that has a lot of assets, likely yes, but those people typically are going to know they can cover their assets by having a minimal amount of insurance. So that's number one. The other is, if you are in an accident, whatever the state is, wherever it is, the things we always say, call 911, make sure everybody is, if they need help, they're getting it. Photos, take lots of photos. You can't take too many because some places the law enforcement may want you to move over out of the way. Take a picture before you move out of the way would be great, just to have it. And then take pictures of yourself if you are injured. I have so many people that come to me, a few weeks later, and they talk about how bruised they were and scratched up they might have been, or even cuts or stitches, and that's all healed. Pictures of the injury help your case immensely. So those are some basic things that you should do regardless of where you are if you're in an accident.
And we all have cell phones these days. It's easy to take a photo.
Yeah, absolutely.
Somebody will have a phone
Yes.
and be able to take a picture.
Yes.
It's not just the roads. A lot of boats are going to be on the water.
Yes.
What do we need to think about before we invite people on our boat, before we put our boat out on the water?
Yeah, I mean, it's more watching out for the other driver is probably more important in the boat because there are no brakes. Watercraft. So when you talk about boats, just don't forget about jet skis and paddle boards and canoe. I mean, anything and everything on the water, you got to watch out for. The rules on the water are exactly like the rules on the road. There are who's supposed to turn, who's supposed to yield. Anybody operating a boat is supposed to have taken a boating test, and they talk about that. The person on the right of where you are always has the right of way, so you have to yield to them depending on how far they are. Jet skis, they don't have any right of ways typically, but you better watch out for them because if you've been on any waterways around here, they're zipping around all the time, in and out of boats because they're jumping over the wakes of the boats. So again, your insurance is going to cover that. Make sure your watercraft is on an insurance policy. You can add it to the one with your car. ATVs, if you're not going to the water, you're going to somebody's farm or the land and you're on a side-by-side or a four-wheeler or whatever, motorcycle, mini bike, whatever it might be, BMX bike, those need to all be insured as well. Because those are things when there's an injury, especially the motorcycles in the open areas, the injuries are usually more severe.
Yeah, make sure it's all covered with insurance. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take some calls coming up after the break.
Great.
That number is 334-420-9732. Again, that's 420-WSFA. We'll get to your phone calls after the break. Please remember to mute your television if you call in. That way we can hear.